All right, good evening. East Lyme Board of Selectmen, regular meeting of June 19th, 2024. We're at the East Lyme Town Hall Upper Meeting Room at 7 p.m. Jason Diebel is participating by cell phone, and he's on the mic on my other phone here. So let's rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So, are there any additional agenda and consent calendar items? I'm not aware of any that we're adding tonight. Okay. The next section is public delegations. Is there anyone that would like to address the Board of Selectmen? If you would go to the podium and just give your name and address, please.
Good evening, Mike Furman, Furman's Garage, 309 Flanders Road. The residence is 203 Flanders Road. A couple things. I wanted to make sure I sent you a letter a few weeks ago, Mr. Cunningham, in regard to the new fees for the fire marshal's office. I'm hoping you guys all got. Since then, received a letter in the mail now from the water department. $175 fee is going to be charged for them coming out to do to verify that we have the backflow preventer. I find the fees absurd on top of everything else with the rising costs. According to this letter, you guys passed it sometime last year. Had a couple questions on that, on how we can go about like appealing that and how that can work through with you guys, and then just had a couple other notes on kind of where we're at on the fees and stuff and the taxes here in town. To be blunt, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's getting absolutely absurd when not only with the higher taxes, here are these added fees. For us alone, got my personal property bills for the business itself, the property taxes, your water and sewer bills, now the fire marshal's inspection fees, these fees associated with the water and sewer. You're up the fees associated with building and zoning permits now. I mean, everything is just out of control. And on that same note, which I find absolutely absurd, you have town vehicles, STX model Ford pickup trucks, which are loaded trucks with alloy wheels and everything. We talk about saving money, but yet we're buying vehicles that I don't even drive. I guess, again, my greatest question would be or a couple of the questions would be, I mean, how much income do you guys foresee taking in from these added fees when we have allegedly more building going on in town, higher tax base and everything? Where is this money going? And again, how do we go about appealing some of this stuff? I'm too busy to get down here. I way too busy to get down here. I should have been down here much sooner to pay attention to this stuff, and the fact that it came through you guys and it just passed without issue, this is a major problem. And I'm sure most of your taxpayers, especially the long-standing businesses here in town, enough's enough. I mean, that's what I'd like to bring to the floor here for you guys. I don't know if you table it now or down the road, but I have some very grave concerns about the cost of everything in this town, and how we're just going to keep a la carte charging for everything that goes on. And then again, some of this funding, those pickup trucks, that's unbelievable to me. I'm a government employee, Coast Guard, and with the town of Waterford, buy XL model trucks that aren't loaded with all these other accessories for guys to go to work every day. It's absurd. When we on one hand are saying that the rising costs of stuff, but we can go out and spend money on pickup trucks and stuff like that. It's crazy. So that's what I have to offer. I don't know, if there's any input back and forth now or it's something down the road, but these are my concerns, and I would definitely like to know about the process of, does it require, X amount of taxpayers, to petition to have some of this stuff reversed with these fees. I mean, these are people who are on the payroll who are getting paid to do. So the fee's $175 to come to my shop to check a valve on the hose. I mean, that's insane. The state rates for me to go out and tow a vehicle with a $150,000 flatbed is $125. I mean, for them to, when they're coming by my shop, this and that, that's absurd. Charge me $50 and I wouldn't feel as bad. build it into my taxes, and I'd feel even better about it. That's where I'm at.
Thank you for your comments.
All right.
So noted. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate your concern. Is there anyone else that wants to address the board tonight? Okay, being done, we'll move to approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion regarding the regular meeting minutes of June 5th, 2024?
Yes, I would move to table the regular meeting minutes of June 5th, 2024.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All right, any discussion?
I'm just tabling this because there's just some discrepancy that needs to be clarified. So I will get it straightened out and we can put it on for the next meeting.
That sounds good. All right, thank you for spotting that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, we heard from Jason, okay. Any opposed? Being none, that motion carries the table. That approval.
All right.
Next.
Move to approve the emergency meeting minutes of June 6th, 2024 for the Board of Selectmen.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Any changes? Being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the consent calendar. And it's a light one tonight, there's only one item.
Move to approve the consent calendar for June 19th, 2024 in the amount of $464.74.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There's no one opposed, so that carries. All right.
Before we go on, I wonder if you might respond to Mr. Furman to just tell him that under delegations, we listen, but we can't respond because it's not on the agenda.
Okay. If somebody can reach out to me, I can come back out or whatever. But I'd like to have somebody reach out to me with my concerns and how we can go moving forward. So,
I'll reach out to
that's
you.
where I am.
Very good. Thank you so much.
I will.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Have a good night.
You too.
You too. Take care. Yeah, thank you, Roseanne. I thought it was understood. But okay. All right. We need a motion to enter executive session.
Move to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing the local 3377 firefighters union contract at 7:08 p.m.
I'm sorry. Do I hear a second?
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right. So we are now in executive session, so I will close the doors. So how do we do that?
All right, so I would move, as we're going to executive session, to also have Kevin Gervais, Director of Finance, in this executive session to discuss the local 3377 firefighters union contract, and this would be then at 7:09 p.m.
And I will second.
Have a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. So now we are in executive
No,
session.
you're in executive session. You need to
Yeah.
go off
Okay.
line.
Okay.
Wait.
You still there, Jason? You hanging in with us?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Okay.
Move to exit executive session at 7:49 p.m. with no action taken.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. So it's unanimous. We're back on the record.
You gotta wait for Sue, I think. She's coming back. Sue, I just moved to exit executive session at 7:49 p.m. with no action taken, and it was a 5-0-0 vote. And I think Candace seconded it.
I do.
Okay. So now, There was no action taken, as we said. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion to table the discussion of possible action on the firefighters' contract.
Okay, I'll move to table under new business, section C, discussion and possible action of local 3377 IAFF firefighters contract.
A second.
Right, we have a second. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, that motion carries, and that'll be tabled to some point in the future when it's appropriate to discuss the contract. Next is item C. Do I hear a motion to schedule the town meeting?
Move the following. Town of East Lyme, notice of special town meeting, July 3rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Notice is hereby given of a special town meeting of the Town of East Lyme to be held on Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the East Lyme Town Hall Upper Meeting Room for the following purposes. To consider and act upon a motion to approve a special appropriation of $120,000 from remaining ARPA funds to a new account to be named Parks Improvements. 2, to consider and act upon a motion to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $19,176.67 to purchase 2 new highway plows from CNRE line 32-30-400-700-999. 3, to consider and act upon a motion to reallocate $187,000 from the Boston Post Road Tank Project, account number 85-70-007-700-711, and $8,000 from the Well 5A WTP Upgrade Project, account number 85-70-004-700-004, for a total amount of $195,000 to be transferred into an account to be created entitled, quote, Well 4 and Well 1A/6 PFAS Removal Project to assist in the design, engineering, and procurement of equipment related to the removal of PFAS from East Lyme water sources. 4, to receive communications from the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance with respect to a resolution entitled, quote, Resolution making appropriations aggregating $3,735,000 for various public improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,735,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 5, to consider and act upon a resolution entitled, quote, Resolution making appropriations aggregating $3,735,000 for various public improvements and authorizing the issuance of $3,735,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 6, to receive communications from the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance with respect to a resolution entitled, quote, Resolution making appropriations aggregating $7,285,000 for various Board of Education capital improvements and authorizing the issuance of $7,285,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 7, to consider and act upon a resolution entitled, quote, Resolution making appropriations aggregating $7,285,000 for various Board of Education capital improvements and authorizing the issuance of $7,285,000 bonds of the town to meet said appropriations and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose. 8, to transact any other business proper to come before the meeting. Copies of the proposed bond resolutions are on file and open to public inspection at the office of the town clerk. Dated at East Lyme, Connecticut, this 19th day of June 2024. East Lyme Board of Selectmen.
Thank you, Ann.
Sure.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor of scheduling the town meeting signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Being none, motion carries. Thank you. I know it's tedious reading that.
That's
I
fine.
appreciate you doing that, Ann.
No worries.
Okay. I need a motion to appoint, to table appointing an interim deputy emergency management director.
Okay, I'm going to move to table a motion for appointment of interim deputy emergency management director, which is under new business, Part D on the Board of Selectmen meeting for June 19th, 2024.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Thank you. So it's a little bit premature to do that. We have to work out some of the details. I was optimistic we could maybe do that tonight, but in retrospect, it would be more prudent to put that off to the next meeting. So we'll figure out the details and then we'll put it back on the agenda. So all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, motion carries. Apparently, there's no old business. Do we have any ex officio reports tonight?
I'll lead off.
Okay.
We were supposed to have on the agenda for this evening a report from the Commission of Natural Resources, a final report and summation of from the grant that the Commission received on environmental studies and what we can do to be proactive in trying to protect particularly our shoreline and other fragile areas. There are a number of recommendations, many of which do not involve money, but it's a really attempt to be proactive and do what we can to be preventative and be aware of areas that really are sensitive that we need to pay closer attention to, particularly as we are having more large-scale developments coming into town. So unfortunately, it didn't get on the agenda for tonight. So that will be on for the last meeting in June, as our June meeting is on the 3rd, and a number of people, including Commission of Natural Resources members, are going to be out of town, including myself. So that'll be on for the 2nd July meeting. Also, from the Commission of Natural Resources, concerns continue to be expressed about intrusion into the protected area at the Darrow Pond property, which is not supposed to be open to the public, and there are many signs indicating that that's not being protected. People are going into that area either unaware that it is a protected area or don't care. Zoning meets tomorrow night, and that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Roseanne. Jason, do you have anything? I can put you up to the microphone here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't really have much to report. I'm sorry I can't be there, and I appreciate all that you guys are doing to make sure that I can participate.
Well, I'm glad you're participating even by phone, so thank you, Jason. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Oh, did you want to go?
Either or, it doesn't matter.
Whoever. We'll go down the line. We'll let
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
end
go down the line.
So I attended a planning commission meeting on Tuesday, June 11th for Don McKenzie, just as ex officio. He wasn't able to attend. Penny Heller stood up. She's the chair of the East Lyme Commission for the Conservation of Natural Resources, and she asked them to support a policy called Complete Street Policy Statement. The Planning Commission did vote to support that statement, and basically it's talking about bike lanes and sidewalks. So I'm going to read that policy because I thought it was important. It is hereby the policy of the town of East Lyme to consider the needs of all users of all abilities and ages, specifically including pedestrians, bicyclists, transit users, and vehicle operators in the planning, design, construction, retrofit, and maintenance activities related to all roads and streets as a means of providing a safe, efficient transportation network which enhances quality of life and economic vitality. Complete streets shall be defined as, for the purpose of this policy, a means to provide safe access for all users by providing a comprehensive, integrated, connected, multimodal network of transportation options. So basically they were talking about trying to put in sidewalks, bike lanes, putting in bike racks, trying to make everything more user-friendly for pedestrians and bicyclists. So that was the main upshot of that. And then the only other thing was June 12th, Dan and I attended an emergency management drill for possible issues surrounding voting suppression, anything to do with the the ballots. And it was kind of like troubleshooting to see, you know, any issues that would arise.
Right.
I thought it was extremely helpful.
Absolutely.
And we did find, you know, changes that needed to be made. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Ann. All right, Candace?
Okay. I had the Board of Ed the other night, and of course everybody's coming off of graduation, and they did an incredible job. So I attended the middle school promotion at the East Lyme High School and the graduation itself. I also went to the walkthrough, which was really fun. The kids get to go through each one of the elementary schools, and it's a full circle moment. So that was pretty awesome. They celebrated some retirees, and now they're going to have a couple weeks off. So,
Great.
yeah.
Good. Thank you, Candace. Let's see. So that leaves me. I'm ex officio for the police commission. They had a meeting last night. I attended it. A large portion of the meeting was executive session, so I can't comment on that. So, and the rest is public record. First Selectmen's report. Again, Ann and I attended a series, really, in the last month or so of these scenarios. We're trying to anticipate potential problems. Hopefully nothing ever happens over at Millstone, but we had one of those, and then we have the election coming up, and yeah, they're very helpful, and they're well run and organized. FEMA, they monitor it, and they actually grade the various municipalities on their performance. We got an A+.
Oh, did they?
We did. That's what I heard. So we scored very highly, and they were quite pleased with the engagement of you and I and the others that were there. So that was really worthwhile exercise. Today I was over at the community center addressing the senior population there. That was a meet and greet to sit and talk with the first selectman, and there were a lot of issues that they raised, asked a lot of questions, and there are a lot of concerns, not the least of which is housing and for people that are elderly, and it's becoming a larger issue and a bigger problem, and so one that they're very concerned about, and one that, quite frankly, we all need to be concerned about as times change and the housing pressures change. But it was a nice meeting, and I'm glad I was able to get over there. And that's pretty much it for me for tonight.
I have a couple of other things. As a follow-up to Commission on Aging, which is also my ex officio, I don't think it's a matter just of housing. I think the adjective that needs to be added is truly affordable housing, which I'm aware of people in this town that are paying $1,900 a month for affordable, supposedly affordable senior housing. I couldn't afford to live there. So I think this business of the affordable housing, I think we need to be making some major contacts with our elected officials at the state level, because they have created a formula that we're supposed to follow that is truly unreachable. That in order to be qualified as having an adequate amount of housing, affordable housing, 30% of it must be affordable, and the rest of it is 70% market value. So you never can achieve the goal of having met affordable housing, because the developer gets 70% at market value, always outweighing the affordable. And I think that our best move, as this is an area of concern, not just ours, that we make an appointment to address our state elected representatives to help us out here. And then secondly, at the last meeting, we heard an extensive report from the Yale Charette committee, and a lot of things to think about. But I was trying to think of so that this just doesn't kind of fall by the wayside, what could we do to get started that would be reasonable? And it seems to me one of the simplest things would be to get signage up. It would not be expensive, but signage that directs people as to where they can go for parking, public parking, other areas that are accessible to the public. And I think that would be a simple start to show that we really want to move forward, and I can't believe that that would really amount to a tremendous amount of money in order to do that. And we have several local businesses that are very good at sign making that could come up with something that's appropriate. And I'd like to see if we could get some momentum on that. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Roseanne. Well, those are certainly serious and valid concerns, and one it's a topic, you know, with housing, it's on many people's minds. So it's a large question. Don't know the answer sitting here. But.
Well, as EB is expecting to do a lot of considerable housing needs for housing, maybe they could give us a hand with some of this, because
Yeah. No, it's certainly
it's going to be a big demand.
It's a real issue and a serious one. Thank you. Is there, let's see, there's no communications that I saw in the file, I don't believe. Let's see, no. Is there any public comment?
Is there
All right.
Is there any public?
There's no public. All right, then Selectmen's response will be extremely brief to the public comment, so since there was none. All right, we got through a lot of things here. Light meeting, though, compared to some others. So do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Are we going to have a quorum for the 3rd? That's the day before the 4th of July. I won't be here. I'll be out of town next Wednesday. Will we have a quorum?
Let's
I'll
see.
be here.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
I'll be there.
Okay. Done.
Jason will be there.
And Don, I don't know if he'll be there or not, but we still
we
have a
can-
quorum anyway.
We can get him a telephone.
We can-
Yeah.
He can be here by phone, too. so.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll take care of the 3rd then. We'll have a quorum.
Okay, move to adjourn the June 19, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen at 8:07 PM.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. Thank you, Candace. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Being none, motion carries. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.